Wonka candies, as we know them today, were born of a long string of corporate handshakes and brand acquisitions. Without boring you too much with the exact timeline of events, the birth of Wonka confections coincided with the release of the first film adaptation of Roald Dahl's book Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. All originally intended to promote the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory movie, Wonka candies in the United States and worldwide came into their own as a wacky but beloved brand. Arguably the most iconic and loved Wonka candies include Laffy Taffy, Nerds, Sweet Tarts, Pixie Sticks, and Fun Dip, and I'm actually just now realizing how many of these candies are just different forms of powdery, tangy sugar. My top 3 Wonka candies were as follows: Gummy Sweet Tarts Bugs, specifically, Wonka Bars, and Wonka Donut. You're welcome for that flashback to your childhood, early 2000s kids. The Gummy Sweet Tarts Bugs were something I could only ever find at the local movie theater, so maybe the rare occasion made it taste better in my mind. The Wonka Bar was a genuinely good candy bar. I remember this coming out in stores with the release of the new Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie in 2005. It was a simple chocolate bar with graham cracker pieces, but it was so good. One of my favorite candy bars ever. I mourn its discontinuation every day. The Wonka Donuts candy, despite poor sales, was also one of my faves. It was a simple chocolate candy coated in sprinkles with a fudgy chocolatey center. Laffy Taffy is next on the list of the best and most iconic Wonka candies, at least in my opinion. It's still around, but in my opinion, all the heart and whimsy has been brutally stripped away from it. Wrappers that used to be decorated with funky fruits clad in wacky sunglasses have now faded into palatable, corporate-friendly fruit stock photos. Banana is the best flavor, of course. Fruit Punch was my second fave, but it was so rare, even in its prime. In fact, it's worth mentioning that any of the Wonka candies that still exist today have been reduced to completely unfun, blandly palatable shells of their previous fun selves. No more funny bottle cap dudes, no more smug gobstopper guy, no more googly eyes on Fun Dip packages. At least the adorable little Nerds guys are still around. Also no longer with us is a cultural cornerstone of my internet experience growing up: the Sweet Tarts 3D game and the Pet Wonka Night Flash game. I think the Sweet Tarts 3D game evokes almost the same vibes as this image. It encapsulates the nostalgic vaporwave sounds and aesthetics that millennials are trying to desperately recapture. I was able to find a restored version and play a little bit of it. Look!
Oh yeah.
I was able to capture some gameplay for the Pet Wonka Night game too. I'd say it definitely takes inspiration from Tamagotchi, where the player must feed, care for, and play with their pet Wonka Night. But this game has absolutely no music or ambience, and the sound effects that are present are annoying at best and downright terrifying at worst. By the way, you'll notice I'm kind of glossing over the super vintage Wonka candies, and that's simply because I'm most familiar with and nostalgic for the stuff I grew up with. That's not to say that the stuff that came before my time didn't also look super fun. Now, the topic of the Wonka candy downfall is pretty simple. Ferrero acquired the brand rights from Nestle in 2018, and the Wonka name was effectively absorbed into a sea of corporate palatability, as I mentioned a bit earlier. And that is preferable to it being eliminated altogether, but we had a good thing going. It's just sad that a line of candies with such fun and interesting circumstances surrounding its conception has ended up just like every other boring brand. But I'm hoping there may be a light at the end of the tunnel. At the end of this year, a brand new Wonka movie is coming out, although it's more of a prequel to the other Wonka movies and less of an adaptation of the original story, and the casting for Wonka seems weird.
Excuse me, Hollywood, please stop giving all the roles to Tillamy Shillamy. He does not look like he has a chocolate factory. He looks like he has a navy sheets and a jewel.
I'm super hopeful that the movie will spark some sort of marketing campaign that'll bring our precious Wonka bars back to us. At the end of the day, the downfall of Wonka candies is the least of our global concerns, but it does exemplify how corporations have washed out everything fun and colorful recently, in my opinion. Time will tell if the new movie will usher in the rebirth of Wonka bars or anything like that, but I'll try to keep my expectations neutral. Thanks for sticking around for the video. If you liked it, check out some of my others I have in store. I also stream 2 to 3 times a week on my Twitch channel, as well as release original music and even my own games every so often. Make sure to check out all my links in the description and subscribe if you liked the video. Bye for now, everyberry!